all the magicians who've had an impact on my life and career, none have been more influential than Johnny Thompson, also known as the Great Thompsoni. To understand why, we need to set the Wayback Machine to 1976. Destination, Reno, Nevada. I was just 16 years old, but already actively performing around town. There were no other magic clubs and few other magicians. It was like creating in a vacuum, which forced me to learn from books and follow my own creative instincts. Reno is, and was, an active casino town that draws some of the world's top entertainers. One day, while glancing through the paper, I happened to spot an ad for the Great Thompsoni, who was opening for Robert Goulet at Jonasquaga's Nugget. Alas, with a foolish bravado that only comes from youth, I grabbed the phone and called backstage at the casino. As luck would have it, Johnny and Pam had just arrived to prepare for their evening show. I boldly introduced myself and said that I would like to meet him. What happened next would change my life forever. Instead of brushing me off or even hanging up, Johnny politely agreed and kindly asked when I could come down to the casino. As I recall, I replied that I could come in the following evening. He said, "That sounds fine, son. We look forward to meeting you." And that was that. I arrived the next day about 5 p.m. with my girlfriend, and after mentioning his name, was escorted backstage to the dressing room. He welcomed me as a friend and colleague, introducing his wife and partner, Pam Hayes. As they methodically prepared for their show, he asked me about my act and my aspirations. He told me that if I was serious about show business, I should consider moving to Los Angeles. He even talked about the Magic Castle and their junior group. He casually offered practical advice about caring for doves, stage makeup, and so much more. As showtime approached, he reminded me that, as teenagers, we wouldn't be allowed into the showroom. My heart sank. However, like a magical character from a storybook, he just smiled and winked, saying that he had it all worked out. And with that, he escorted us through the back halls and up the assorted stairways which led to the spotlight booth. There, 2 seats were set up where she and I watched the entire show. And what a show it was. You talk about magic. Johnny and Pam were impeccable. I had never seen a professional magic act live. The comedy, timing, the acting, the dove work, everything. It was a watershed moment that I will never forget. And so began a lifelong friendship that continued until the day he left us. I saw them regularly over the following year before following their suggestion and moving to Hollywood. Once there, I was often a guest at their home in Burbank, where I spent many an evening with Charlie Miller, Pete Byro, and many other greats. Johnny was even the very first magic lecture I ever saw, and I quickly realized that he was a master close-up artist as well as stage magician. And as the years went by, he was always there, like a father figure, and we shared in life's ups and downs. Whenever I was in Vegas, I always looked forward to meeting them both, still feeling like that 16-year-old kid with butterflies in my stomach, walking into their dressing room.